Hey everyone, back with another Jordan's Yap sessions. These Yap sessions are, just me giving my 2 cents on certain topics. Um, you can put these in the background and just listen to me talk, but I also have some good training videos along with it. Today I got some pull sessions because that's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking more about what I think you should be doing, tailored towards more the beginner rather than what I'm doing. These are going to be kind of synonymous, so the visual learners will be able to see what I'm talking about for most of the time. So I wanted to start off by talking about exercise selection. So I think it's a little different than your push days or your leg days, for example. Your pull movements are really going to be your back and biceps, and then maybe some extra special sauce in there. So the exercise selection is a little more unique. But for the exercise selection, I like to always start with some sort of pull down because this will open up your shoulders a little more, and I think it also helps activate the back. Um, but the big thing is opening up the shoulders. Then I like to go to either an upper back row or a lower back row, and then whatever I didn't do, I follow that up with. And then depending on the day, either a hinge movement, either a deadlift or a rack pull, or take it easy and do like a high row, another pull down, a pull over, something that doesn't really involve rowing at that point, um, just from a different angle. Talking about pull downs, let's talk about grip selection. So there's like a plethora, an absolute surplus of different types of grips, handles, attachments you can use. Dual cables, single cables, um, that you can use and select from when doing pull downs. First thing is I would do a pull down machine. I would sit in, you know, lock myself in. I would never do it from the floor because if you want to load this thing up, you're not going to be able to do it by just balancing yourself because the weight should be heavy enough where it's going to pull you around. So when I see people do it from the floor or kneeling, nah, not good enough. Now, the attachment style, I like to choose a close grip because I can get this nice, narrow, close to the body focus, and I think that really opens up and really just drives it into my lower lats, which I'm trying to work on. Um, and then I've also used a straight bar where I've had my hands just a little farther shoulder width apart. But I wouldn't go any farther than that. This is because there's an old school method or myth that's saying the wider the grip, the wider the back. That's what it is, a myth. It's not true. Doesn't really make any sense either. Um, so I wouldn't go any farther than a little farther than outside your shoulders because that's just going to start to lower your range of motion for your lats. And then the other big thing when doing these to really focus on, because I feel like a lot of beginners tend to miss this because your back is a mirror muscle, you can't see it, is to make sure you're letting your hands ride all the way up and really stretching, almost like you're dangling. This will really protract your scapula and allow it to stretch. And then when you pull down, a big cue is to think of is don't think of your hands where your hands are. Just think of your hands as grips or hooks, excuse me, just hooks. You got little Lego hands maybe. And just focus on where your elbows are. Focus on where your elbows are driving through. If you're using a close grip, think of how they're, grinding against your body. And then if you're using a wider grip, think of how your elbows are driving straight down. Uh, there is more we can go into, but just for now, we'll just keep it there. Now, following this, like I said, I like to do either a higher back row or a lower back row. I know there's some talk where you can't train your lower lats, but I think that's wrong. I've been doing it, and I feel like it works. So I like to go a little different than the push days. Push days, we do meat and potatoes exercise at the first. For the pull days, I like to do meat and potatoes extra, the biggest movement after the pull downs, because the pull downs I get, a nice good open the shoulder stretch, and then I'm ready to go. So I do dumbbell rows for my big movement, and I really focus on driving it to my hip, which allows me to hit my lower lats. Following that, I like to find, you could do a hinge movement, but if I did a hinge movement at the first exercise, I like to do a machine the second exercise. That's just me. You could do all hinge movements, but I wouldn't do all machine movements, if that makes sense. At least do one, just to get some grit in there. But for the second one, I like to do a higher row. So I actually haven't done these lower rows in a really long time. I know I said I'm going to be talking about what I'm doing, but I didn't do them because I didn't know how to do them. So a quick explanation on how I think you should do them is find a height where you can sit comfortably and your arms aren't being pulled downwards. You should be almost at a 45-degree angle, and then you should be sitting pretty neutral to the pad. And once again, in every single back movement, think of where your elbows are. So I drive my elbows at a 45-degree angle, and for the beginners, I would suggest thinking about the cue, pulling your shoulder blades together, squeezing your shoulder blades together as hard as you can, and then letting your hands, as slow as you can, stretch all the way. Your hands should go as far as they can. That'll protract your scapula, really stretch the top of your back out, and then do the same thing. Drive that back. And these are a great one as well to do rest pauses on. If you have a gym partner, it's a little harder to do force reps because it's a little weird angle. But you could also do drop sets. That's a awesome thing too. The biggest thing because it is a machine, I would like to stay a little more strict. Use a little less body language. If it's a free weight machine or a free weight movement, I say use a little more body language. Like the dumbbell rows, you got some body language there. If you're doing landmine rows or you're doing bent over barbell rows, you can use a little more body language as long as you're going hard. The first rule always is to go hard. So, as you're watching me do these, I just wanted to quickly say I hope you're all doing well. And if not, remember, no feeling is final. If you're struggling right now with your mental health and with loneliness and other feelings of dread, please know that you matter. You're not alone, even if it feels that way. Feelings of dread and loneliness hang over us way too easily. It's hard to make these feelings go away, but they will. Little by little, day by day, even if unnoticeable. But these feelings will pass, and the sun will rise tomorrow. And these feelings cannot take that tomorrow away from you. You are not defined by these feelings, and you are so much more than that. So please, if it helps you for even a day, keep with you that no feeling is final. So following my big back movements, I would usually do some sort of hinge movement, some sort of deadlift, some sort of rack pull, or it could also be back extensions. So I actually split my pull days into two separate days, like a pull A and a pull B. So that means I do different workouts, different exercises on one day, and I do just different exercises the second day. This helps a lot if you're looking for change a lot of the time. It allows you to just mix things up. But if you're okay with the monotonous of things and doing the same thing, I say do it the same way. And then I would, instead of doing like this high row, I would do deadlifts. Just do deadlifts every week, every pull day, because why not? Because it'll make you hard, man. Add a little grit. Do rack pulls. But because I do that one day, I instead of doing rack pulls, I add just a little, or instead of deadlifts, I'd add a little additional. So I do a high row instead of doing a high row. You could also do another pull down would be great, or a pull over. I just like to do something I can get a nice, good stretch all the way through kind of my mid back. The high row works well. Pull downs work well. If you do like a close grip the beginning, I would do a wider grip, like the neutral grip, and then vice versa. And then following these, because once again I'm not doing my hinge movements, I like to do some shrugs to get the the top part of the back that I'm missing because I'm not doing deadlifts. So for the shrugs, the biggest thing is go heavy, but don't bounce it. Just like how we would train calves and almost everything. Put your delts all the way up to your earlobes, and then slow negative. Really slow on these. That'll really drive those fibers into your traps. As soon as you touch the bottom, as soon as you stretch all the way down and you feel yourself hit the bottom of that, you boom, explode all the way back up, and then slow, slow, slow. Man, if you do these, that will tear your traps. So instead of doing these, if you didn't want to do shrugs, you could do some face pulls or maybe some rear delt flies, just to kind of get that top end of the back because we're not doing deadlifts. Um, or if you want to go really crazy, I used to do these, is you could mix the shrugs and the face pulls. So you could do face pulls and then shrugs. Superset them. It's a really fun superset. Give it a try. And then following a pull day, just like push day, muscles biggest to smallest, we did all our back, and then we did our little accessory on our backs. So then we just finished with our biceps. I really like preacher curls. There was a long time in my life where I could not figure them out. I didn't feel them. I found the best way is to lower yourself all the way where it's all the way up into your armpits, and then you can get the full contraction, the full stretch, and then just like everything we train, explode on the top and then slow on the negative. And with these, I've been learning to add a little more cheat reps, a lot of more body language, especially on those ones that I'm feeling. Be strict in the first 12 and then cheat your way to get another 3 because why not? Why not? It's extra blood in the muscle, feels good, looks good, and adds a little mental callousness. But that's all I got today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you want to hear me talk about, and see ya.